Hey everybody, welcome to our favorite time of the week, Friday, and Top 5 Live Time. I'm Anne Christine Diaz, creativity editor at Ad Age. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, and we are here with...
I'm Alex Jardine, associate creativity editor in London.
And I'm Jessica Wall. I'm a reporter in Chicago. Hi, ladies.
Hello. Thanks for joining us again, Jessica. So Ishan Shorewood, our associate creativity editor, is off today. So Jessica, the very busy Jessica, is stepping in because we love to have her. And she has so many great things to say about the work that we cover. Actually, a lot of the stuff she covers is stuff that we cover as well. So it's great to have that added insight. So we had a really interesting week this week, a bunch of different kinds of things. So I'm really excited to talk about that. But before we start, I want you guys all watching to make sure to give us a shout out in the comments and tell us where you are, because we want to give you guys a shout out back. It's nice to see that you're watching, and it's nice to see where you're watching from. So let us know you're here. So let's kick it off with one from Alex. You want to start?
Sure. Okay, so at number 5 this week, we have a new campaign from Squarespace. Now, despite the pandemic, a lot of people are starting new businesses. And this ad, which was created internally and directed by Ian Pons-Duell of Reset, taps into a space metaphor to illustrate their efforts. And we see people building their business websites as if they're preparing for a space launch, set to a soundtrack of NASA-type communication. And it all leads up to a stunning finale in which the products are the payload. So let's take a look at that.
Oops.
What's happening there?
We'll see it soon. We're waiting for space to take flight. It takes a while sometimes, people.
Technical difficulties, but hang in there and we're here.
Roger, we got a roll program. Roger, roll. Roll's complete and the pitch is programmed.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh no. Playback issue.
Should we
in the background?
Should we talk about it before it plays a little bit?
Yeah. So yeah, all the Squarespace work is really beautiful. You know, it's done in-house, and they've actually worked with agencies as well. But whether they're creating in-house or with agencies, it's all been consistently good and powerful. The brand has worked with a lot of celebrities in the past, like Keanu Reeves, and Idris Elba was in, I think, one of the most recent campaigns where he was lip syncing to a girl song. But this one didn't star celebrities, but was equally compelling, I think. The premise of it was really interesting, right? Like, we've been seeing a lot of marketing around space or with a space theme, but I like how the brand brought it down to earth in a way and focused on everyday people who are creating these big things, who are, you know, approaching their own lifts off. I don't know.
Yeah. We saw a load of ads, I think a few years ago. There was a Super Bowl where virtually every ad seemed to have an astronaut in it. So it's not like people haven't used space as a metaphor before, but this does it in a slightly different way.
Yeah, and it does really explain the product in a compelling way. If you watch the video, you want to see what happens. You want to see how these people's businesses are coming to life, and it really does articulate that in this beautiful way.
Yeah. And at first you don't even know exactly what's happening. You know, I like how the film itself kind of draws you into the story, and, you know, it teases it a little bit and then as you watch, it becomes clear what the metaphor is. I don't know if we're going to be able to watch it.
If we can't watch it now, maybe we should keep talking about some of the other ads. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, should we try it one more time? Okay, we'll try one more time, and we won't torture you guys if it doesn't play again.
Roger, we got a roll program. Roger, roll. Roll complete and the pitch program. Worldwide web launch conditions optimal.
High-tech transfer protocol. Check. Checking response styles.
Because the shelter multiple today.
Via the backyard server.
Update packets for a go for staging. Hex color code check. Double foxtrot, double foxtrot, double foxtrot. We're web safe.
45 seconds to watch. ロードサイズ 512.9 キロバイト。
Checking body copy. Complete. Ascender count 386. Descender count 417. On check. Complete.
Okay. Maybe toward the end we'll be able to play it, but you guys make sure to go to adage.com to watch the spots in their entirety. And we'll also have a QR code pop up so you can check out the work more easily later in the show. So let's move on to the next one. Jessica, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So number 4 comes from Miller Lite, and the agency is DDB. So just in time for NFL season, Miller Lite debuted an unusual new product, which is a can of beer that also allows football fans to enjoy games for free. Ahead of the games last Sunday night, Miller Lite started to seed on social media links to sketchy sites that lured NFL fans with access to view games, but that led them to a music video cautioning about the perils of illegal streaming. And ultimately, it recommended that they try to sign up for the brand's new Cantana, which is a 12-ounce vessel of beer that also comes equipped with a digital antenna and coaxial cable, which gives people access to the games on the local networks, no cable required. So hopefully we can go take a look at a little clip of this. The full video is long. It's about 3 minutes, I want to say. But there's some really funny parts in it, and I think there's also a cut down. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that or not. Let's give it a shot.
Ordinary beer cans only hold beer. Boring. Cantana holds beer and has a built-in digital TV antenna, so you and your friends can watch football at home. It's time to watch football with your friends. It's Miller time.
And in the full spot, you see the guy who's the center of that one gets into a lot of trouble with the government over his use of trying to download some illegal cable. He winds up, spoiler alert, he winds up in prison. It's a fun spot though, and basically the whole thing is just a way to have fun watching football this year in an unusual year for viewers.
Yeah, and I also love how the campaign kind of plays into the behavior of some viewers. You know, I think part of the insight was that people illegally stream stuff, right? So Miller Lite just took that premise and ran with it. They created these ridiculous sites where people might be able to stream NFL games, but it actually took them to the music video and the promotion for the Cantana. And yeah, I think Smuggler was behind the music video, and then also Missing Pieces created the websites as well as the device itself. So it was a complete, a collaboration between a lot of different parties. What's interesting about Miller Lite advertising recently, it's, I like how many different assets or different ways of reaching the consumer they've employed. Prior to this, Miller Lite debuted something called the Controller, which was an actual gaming controller that combined with a can of beer. And even more interesting about both these things, they're actual cans of beer. You could drink the product either in the controller or the Cantana. But I wonder how you're supposed to drink from the Cantana without stabbing your eyeballs out.
Well, in the Cantana, the goalposts extend, right? So it's goalposts, which is a play on football, and then they extend to make the antennas work. So you'd have to sit really close to your TV to be able to drink out of it at the same time. I think the idea is to buy more beer, right? Because you don't want those things. Yeah, just like you said, this is not a good idea. I don't care how many drinks you've had, you really should not be poking yourself with antennas while you're watching. I don't care how bad your football team is playing, just don't do it.
Or maybe it comes with a really long paper straw or glass straw.
That's the next iteration.
I just love that it's a real product. I mean, so many brands do these kind of gimmicky things, wacky ideas, but they're not actually real. You can't actually use them. But this is, the real deal.
But yeah, I think Missing Pieces, their creative director, Mike Woods, who's done a lot of things with tech, was responsible for masterminding how to figure out how to add this digital antenna to the can. But yeah, I just love that Miller Lite's looking in different places or just bringing its marketing to different places outside of traditional, digital video or broadcast. So yeah, that was another fun idea from Miller Lite and DDB. Next up, surprise, surprise, we have something from Apple. I feel like it's gotten to the point where we're featuring something from Apple every week.
Yeah,
they're just turning out so much beautiful, impressive work. So this past week, the brand had its big fall product event, and it was really playing up the new Apple Watch Series 6 this time. And during the presentation, Apple talked a lot about the health features of the Apple Watch, how people's lives were saved because they discovered that their heart rates were up. So they went to the ER and discovered that, wow, it's a good thing they went to the ER because they were about to die. Or Tim Cook also talked about how researchers are now using the Apple Watch data to track frontline workers' stress levels, during the pandemic. So yeah, health is this prime feature of the Apple Watch, but it also does other amazing things, which this new spot that Apple debuted talks about, but they do it in a very interesting and fun way. So let's take a look at that one, hopefully.
Imagine a future where one day machine learning will give you the power to track your sleep. Imagine...
Excuse me, ma'am?
Yes? Can I help you?
Yeah, this already does that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Okay, let's try this again. It's all right, I'll start again. Imagine one day a tiny device with an optical sensor will send you an alert if your heart rate is too low. Yes? What? It already does that. What? Oh, okay. Well, how about we'll send you an alert if your heart rate is too high?
It already does that!
All right, let's try something new. We'll send you an alert if you're someplace that's too loud!
I just received one of those alerts.
Really? Well, you should probably find a quieter place, sir.
You should probably mind your own business.
Ugh. Okay, imagine one day in the future...
Hold on.
No, let me finish.
1 second.
You'll be able to take an ECG.
It already does that.
It already does that.
I heard that.
Good. What about continuously track your elevation? Does it do that?
Does that.
Right, got it.
Does that.
Thank you.
Does that.
Yep, heard it the first time. Encourages you to stay fit.
Does that.
Okay, I get it. You're fit. I don't know. Will it automatically call 911 if a bear chases you off a cliff and you take a hard fall?
Yeah, already does that.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay. I got it. Let's go from the top. Imagine a day, a future. Imagine a future. One day, tiny device, blah, 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 that uses red and infrared light to measure your blood oxygen level. Yes? What? No. Don't you dare say it. I'm sorry, I can't hear you! Very cute. Well, that was fun.
I just love how that ad played with such a traditional format. It was this spot that started out being all, this is what's going to happen in the future. And then this voiceover just gets foiled by everything that's happening on screen. And the choice of Helena Bonham Carter was just spot on, I think.
Yeah, it's really inspired casting because she's that sort of combination of, a serious actress, but also a really quirky personality.
Yes.
Her voice definitely works with this spot, for sure.
Yeah, and it's so cleverly written. Like, have we ever seen an ad before where the voiceover starts arguing with the people on screen? I don't think I have.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe I've seen voiceover, like playing with voiceover, but not in this fashion. So Alex, were you able to guess who the voiceover was at first? At first, I was trying to figure out, wait, who is that?
I think I already knew when I watched it, so I don't know. I think I would have guessed it.
Okay. Because first I went to Emma Thompson, but like no, it's not her. And then when I discovered who it was, it totally made sense. But also that was directed by Craig Gillespie of MJZ, who we also know from I, Tonya and Lars and The Real Girl. So he's a great commercial director who's also made a big splash on the big screen. So that was a great directing choice too. But before we move on, we have a bunch of people watching from all over the world. Want to give some shout outs to Christian from New York, Angel from California, Scott from Nevada, Wawan from India, John from Canada, Tanya from South Africa, German from Spain, Danette from Ohio, Syed from Dubai, and so hey guys, thanks for watching. Anyone else?
Hey, thanks for watching.
Make sure to let us know where you're watching from. And let's move on to the next one, Alex.
Sure. So at number 2, we have a PSA about mask wearing. Now, we've seen a lot of creative pushes around mask wearing, but this week, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo pulled out the really big guns, Paul Rudd. And in this goofy film, Rudd plays a millennial, and he comes out with all the phrases that he thinks a millennial would use. But then the film takes an unexpected turn. Let's take a look at it.
Yo, what up, Dogs?
Paul Rudd here, actor and certified young person. A few days ago, I was talking on the iPhone with my homie, Governor Cuomo, and he's just going off about how us millennials need to wear masks because, get this, apparently a lot of COVID is transmitted by us millennials. No cap. So Cuomo's asked me, he's like, Paul, you gotta help. What are you, like 26? And I didn't correct him. So fam, let's real talk. Masks? They're totally beast. So slide that into your DMs and twitch it. Vibe check. Yes, queens like ourselves. We want to go to bars, we want to drink, hook up, do our TikToks. I get it. I'm not gonna preach at you like some celebrity. Ugh. This is a combo where I talk and you shut up and wear your mask. Hello? Oh, hi, Billie Eilish. What's that? You're wearing your mask? Man, I want to stan you. You're so my bae. Yo, listen, hype beasts. Masks protect you and your dank squad because caring about other people is the new not caring about other people. Now that's thick. Masks. You want a challenge? How about a stop the pandemic challenge? What about that? What about a save grandma challenge? That fun enough for you? My name is Paul, and I'm 6 feet tall almost. And I wear my mask, and it's all I ask that you wear your mask. Please wear your mask. Just wear a mask. Just wear a mask. It's easy. It's simple. Please. It's not hard. People are dying. Hundreds of thousands of people are dying, and it's preventable. It's preventable. Just wear a mask. I shouldn't have to make it fun. It's science. It's science. No! Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought wearing masks would be a problem?
Not me. We gotta yeet this virus. Oi.
I mean, I really love this, and I love Paul Rudd. My only question about it was, would actual millennials who are the target of this ad appreciate what he's saying? I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, millennials are older than people give them credit for, so I think they would. I think they know who Paul Rudd is. I think Gen Z and whatever we're calling the A generation now might not know who he is and might not appreciate it, but millennials totally would get this. As a non-millennial, clearly, but
I was actually wondering that myself, so I went and looked at the comments, and there was a lot of love from millennials and all over the map for the video, at least, you know, when I checked it on social media. And Max Sternlick, one of our producers in the background, is saying, yes, we do. And he is a millennial, so he appreciates it. Got this video, there were just so many emotions as I was watching it. Because first of all, just hearing that language coming from a non-millennial, you know, my first instinct is like for the hairs on the back of my neck to stand up. It's like so cringy, but seeing Paul Rudd deliver it, it was perfect, right?
The whole look of it, the outfit with the sweatpants, like one leg pulled up, and the Nikes. I mean, everything about it was just so many tropes at once. It was great.
Yeah, just the way he just like dove into it and fully embraced just being that, you know, being that goofy guy. And actually, when I was first watching it and he was talking about that, I was wondering, well, is he going to put on a mask? I was wondering, are people going to criticize it because he's not even wearing a mask? But it would be such a shame to put a mask on Paul Rudd as he was talking. Like, you want to see Paul Rudd in full glory.
He does put one on at the end when he's yeah.
And but just to see him get outraged by the end, I thought that had a lot of impact. You know, it was like, oh, okay, it's you know, this is a serious message. But I was so happy at the end when they brought it back to that, you know, that typical Paul Rudd humor. It just, you know, it was a nice way to punctuate that and put a positive spin on it. So yeah, Paul Rudd hardly fails. So that was a good choice. And it was interesting because I was looking further into the campaign, and I think a lot of celebrities have been involved in the push. There were other videos that I still have to check back on. But this one was just really impressive. But there was another mask idea that came out this week too. You want to tell us about that one, Alex?
Yeah, so there's a campaign from the New York MTA and the agency Conquistadors, and they commissioned some artists from around the world to create a series of gorgeous posters that turn the New York State's outlines into masks. Can we take a look at that there? And they're really beautiful. I think it's really clever.
And if we scroll down,
just really gorgeous illustration.
Yeah.
And it gives it a really nice local angle.
Yeah, and I think Conquistadors tapped 12 different artists from around the world to create the artwork. But it was interesting seeing this one and the Paul Rudd film coming out in the same week. I thought like the variety of strategies that people are taking to implore people to wear masks. It makes, like, from humor to this gorgeous art, it makes you wonder what works, right? What is working? And it would be interesting to look into that because, you know, we see so many creatives putting their hearts into all this work. So what's resonating? We also saw a campaign yesterday from the nonprofit Today I'm Brave, which is a simple push where involving masks that say "I care about you" on the front. So I thought that was powerful too, because it's a simple message saying why you're wearing the masks. We know that the importance of masks is masks are important because they prevent us from spreading the virus more so than the virus coming to us. So with that simple statement, I thought that was really impactful. You know, we see humor, art, and empathy being employed. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What works?
I think we need a little bit of it all, right? And see what does work. Because like you said, some people might respond to the humor. Some people might respond to the artwork. Some people need to be hit over the head with a reminder on your face. I'm doing this for you. A little bit of everything goes a long way, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of going on so long now that you've gone beyond the point where you just have to do a sort of basic PSA, wear a mask, which is kind of the point we're at in the UK. We haven't really started being creative about it yet because it's only really come into force over the past month. But hopefully we'll get a little bit more creativity here. Because at the moment, the government campaign is hands, face, and space, which just sounds to me like something out of nursery school.
Well, space is very popular, as we've discussed this week. Squarespace is an outer space. The Apple ad is an outer space. So, you know, it all ties together.
I actually saw yesterday a story from Indonesia where they're making people who are caught without masks dig the graves of people who died from COVID. So that's another tactic, guilt.
Yeah, that's a bit worse than the $50 fine on the MTA, right? I mean, people were freaking out about the $50 fine on the MTA. That sounds a lot worse. So just put your mask on, people.
Yeah, put your masks on. I should be wearing masks because I'm in LA and the air quality is really bad right now. So, just a reminder, if you guys want to check out all the work, we'll put a QR code on screen. So you could just open your camera phones and snap that, and it'll take you straight to the work and more information and the credits, and you could check everything out again. So before we go on to our number one spot, we want to talk about some other interesting work from the week. Michael Bolton. Jessica, can you tell us about Michael Bolton?
What can I tell you about Michael Bolton? You know, if you know who Michael Bolton is, you're going to appreciate this ad. If you've seen Office Space, you're going to appreciate this ad. I don't know if we can actually play the whole thing because it's a bit long, but it is on the creativity site. Michael Bolton is a Panera fan. Let's have a listen.
Broccoli cheddar mac and cheese is my first big launch as head chef at Panera. How do you make a product launch successful? First of all, you need amazing ingredients. And secondly, you need Michael Bolton.
I got just the thing.
When some Mac loves broccoli cheddar, can't keep your mouth on nothing else.
So this is just, it's fantastic. The only thing missing is the mullet. Michael Bolton sings about broccoli cheddar soup being poured on top of macaroni and cheese. This is all shot in his house, which is kind of amazing that he's got these candles and the piano and the whole thing. And then it goes outside his house to his pool. It's the fact that he would just do this to his own hit song. It's fantastic. And so the guy who's the head chef is the guy who's playing the head chef is actually the new head chef at Panera. And this is his first big product launch. And Panera heard from, well, actually, Goodby Silverstein and Partners, which is the agency on this project, heard from Michael Bolton that he was a Panera fan, and they just ran with it. It's a lot of fun. And the product itself is literally two of the most popular products at Panera just being mixed together, which continues the whole mashup trend that we've been seeing in food. So it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. And it's Michael Bolton. So how could you not appreciate it?
Yeah. Like how could they just made When a Man Loves a Woman a lot more cheesy, and it's a total win.
Yeah, it made me laugh, and we could all do with a laugh at the moment. So
exactly.
whatever it's for, it's great.
Yeah,
and I just thought it was hysterical because all the talk in the food industry is this Travis Scott meal at McDonald's, which I know we talked a little bit about last week. And Travis Scott and McDonald's have this huge partnership, and quarter pounders with bacon are selling out in some places. And it's just been crazy. Travis Scott got fined because he was out, giving an impromptu concert, which all just generates more buzz for the whole thing. So you have McDonald's with Travis Scott, and then you've got Panera with Michael Bolton. And it just makes me just smile. I think we all need a little bit of levity with whatever food you might be able to order right now. So there's a lot of stress in the restaurant industry, and it's nice to see some smiles.
And so many celebrities and ads this week as well.
Yeah.
But
also, before we move on to that point, Alex, I just wanted to say it's just over the pandemic, we're finding comfort in nostalgia. Like, I feel like people are watching a lot of old movies right now, and then there's comfort in comfort food. So this Panera ad combines both of those, Michael Bolton and mac and cheese and broccoli. It's just perfect combination. But yeah, what you just said, Alex, we had another celebrity ad this past week starring one of my favorite actors, Hugh Jackman. Can we take a look at that one?
This is Hugh Jackman. Noted humanitarian.
Hey, kids! Shut up!
Goodwill ambassador.
Go walk yourself, bird.
Eternal optimist. And founder of Laughing Man Coffee, the coffee company that donates 100% of Hugh's profits to support fair trade farmers, and brews the exceptional flavor that is 100% responsible for the Hugh Jackman we know and love.
Yeah.
There he is. Laughing Man, the nicest fucking coffee on earth. Doggone it.
I just love how that spot showcased almost all of Hugh Jackman. He didn't sing, but we saw a little bit of Wolverine. We saw a little bit of The Greatest Showman, in his more affable side. And that was just fun. And I don't think it was tied to any specific product launch right now. It just happened, and it was just another piece of work from Ryan Reynolds' agency, Maximum Effort, and it was just so well done, so fun. And I don't know, it was just a joy to watch this week.
Well, and as we said last week when Ryan Reynolds was in the ad with Rick Moranis,
yeah,
the world needs more Rick Moranis. The world needs more Ryan Reynolds. We got more Ryan Reynolds this week. So,
yeah, and it definitely needs more Hugh Jackman.
And needs more Hugh Jackman.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all these celebrities are, I mean, if they're not on a shoot right now, so there's not that many movie shoots going on. There's TV productions pretty much halted, right? So they've got time to do some advertising.
They're available, and but they're having fun with it as well. They're not just doing kind of random ads. A lot of them are doing stuff that they even have a stake in, like Hugh Jackman and the coffee, and Ryan Reynolds and Mint Mobile and aviation.
And
also, so many of them own them as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, yesterday we saw Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Can we pull that one up? Since we're talking about celebrities.
Do we have that one?
Yep. Here it is. Come back.
Come back, Matthew.
Pete, we're throwing a party at the lake house this weekend. I'd go.
Mm-hmm. I think that was one of my favorite moments of the week, just hearing him giggle by himself with a glass of whiskey.
He sounds like he's really enjoying that whiskey.
Yeah.
How many takes did that ad take to shoot?
Just he directed it himself. He was filming himself. So
when I watched that, I almost thought, oh, is that Matthew McConaughey like laughing at like how he could just do anything and that it could become advertising? Like, I could just sit here and it's an ad.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was just another entertaining moment from the week. And we have more shout outs. Jessica, you want to call those out?
Sure. Shout outs to some of you watching: Christian from Costa Rica, Alexander from Florida, Maureen from Georgia, Sasha from California, Wesner from Massachusetts, Shane from Jamaica, Alexandra from France, and Ibrahim from Istanbul. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Okay. Do you want to talk about more, or should we move on to number one?
One thing I did want to bring up, we talked about this week, was Dave & Buster's has a new campaign out.
Yes.
Which is interesting because Dave & Buster's, like pretty much every restaurant chain, was closed for a while, has opened up most of its locations and has a new agency in Mother New York. So they have spots out. They're in our coronavirus blog if you've been keeping track of coronavirus spots, but there's a quick look at one. And it's just a video game machine on a beach, and then
with zombie kills.
there's a premise of the spot, but basically like your world could use some more winning in your life, and everybody could use some winning moments right now. So if it's open near you, you might want to go to Dave & Buster's. There's all kinds of precautions that Dave & Buster's and chains like Dave & Buster's have been putting in place, like wearing masks when you're playing the games and spacing the games further apart, spacing the tables further apart. Here's another ad. This one's about a girl who does a dancing game and then sort of brings that to life.
The one thing that
The thing that's a little bit interesting about this campaign, and it launched in the beginning of September, then Dave & Buster's came out with its quarterly results, which were, as you would expect, pretty bleak considering that most of their locations were closed. And it's not like a kind of place that you think to order takeout from when you're home, because you're not going to Dave & Buster's necessarily for the food. You're going for the atmosphere and being together with people. So wasn't doing that well. And so now it's doing a ton of layoffs. There's a report that they're going to lay off more than 1,300 people. And here we are with a new campaign and a new agency. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. It also made me wonder, as people come out of lockdown, or as the world comes out of lockdown in some areas, what sort of line should you take or approach should you take in your marketing? Because watching the Dave & Buster's ad, it almost felt like there could have been more of a nod to the current situation, right? Like you could have emphasized the safety factor, those things, all those precautions that you just mentioned within the ads themselves, but they almost felt like there's didn't happen in this time, or they're not for this time.
You're right. At the very end of that Meg ad, they show her putting a mask on inside like the Dave & Buster's logo. But other than that, it's as if this is not a pandemic marketing campaign. So I don't know if it's just meant for future use or if they were hoping things would be further along by September when this ad started airing. But it is something that restaurants need to address. The National Restaurant Association actually put out a campaign a few weeks ago about the sounds of dining out to remind people about like sizzling and drinks being poured and things like that. And it showed precautions in a much more obvious way, hand sanitization stands and things like that than this ad does. But again, you're not going to Dave & Buster's necessarily for the food. You're going for the video games and stuff, I would think. So it's a little bit, it's interesting. We'll see what happens with all of those chains. There was news out about Chuck E. Cheese this week and billions of tickets being destroyed and all kinds of stuff is going on. Never a dull moment in restaurants. Yes.
And that's why you're here, to bring some of that spice into the top 5. So yeah, let's move on to our number 1 idea. This got a lot of attention in the broader world, Patagonia's clothing tags. So someone on social media discovered and posted that the clothing tag on some of Patagonia's clothing had the message, "Vote the assholes out." And when I first became aware of it, somebody was asking me, is this for real? So then I asked Adrienne Pasquarelli, our retail reporter, and she said, yes, this is for real. And it turns out that this tag is appearing on a line of fall shorts for both men and women that Patagonia has on its site right now, the regenerative shorts. So it's an actual product. And I think maybe it's the boldest political statement I've seen from a brand since maybe the Nike Colin Kaepernick ad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have we seen other stuff? But this was pretty attention grabbing and bold.
It is, and really interesting that they didn't. They just let it be discovered. They didn't PR it or come out with a big fanfare and say we're doing this. They just let people find it for themselves.
Yeah. And it seems pretty pointed toward the current administration, but a Patagonia spokesperson said that this line is something that the founder has been using for a long time, vote the assholes out. And by assholes, the founder, Yvon Chouinard, I'm going to butcher his name, is referring to anyone who is not supporting, the environment or who is anyone who's not contributing to helping our world get better. So it's not specific to the current administration.
Well, but it is saying vote the assholes out. So it implies that they're in at the moment.
Totally. And
it's plural. It's plural. So it's not necessarily aimed at one particular
it's not just
candidate.
one guy. No, it couldn't be just one guy, could it?
Yeah. But 3 years ago, Patagonia also did sue Trump. So we have to remember that. But one thing also that we were noticing, if you're wondering which products you can get this tag on, it's the regenerative shorts, which feature a very unusual design. Our colleague Max described them as assless chaps.
Or in earthworm brown.
Yeah. If you had that skin color, it would definitely look like that. So you almost wish that Patagonia would put this label on more of its products. We're questioning look at that. Okay, who would wear that? Anyone?
People are buying them though. They're sold out in a bunch of sizes. So somebody finds them trendy.
Or maybe they will become the thing.
Yeah, it'll be a sign of solidarity with the environmental movement if you appear wearing that style.
They could just put it on a mask. Maybe they should.
I think that was one of the comments made to one of the Patagonia employees. Can you put that on a mask? Yeah, it's kind of a shame to put that message on a tag. You think it's part of a big social media strategy to start it with a tag and grow it. So yeah, actually Patagonia does have election information and resources on its site, and it features a version of that line. I think it says vote the climate deniers out, something, climate change deniers out. It's on the election site. Vote climate deniers out of office. Yes. But anyway, bravo to Patagonia for capturing everybody's attention with that, and a totally innovative move. We love those. Thank you so much. And thanks for all the people who made the ideas that we talked about today.
Matt, I see what you're saying, and I don't think it's bad to wear the blue ones. The blue ones are not as interesting looking as the earthworm brown.
Yeah. I love that color name.
Yeah. If I had to pick a pair, I would pick stone blue over earthworm brown. Just saying.
I think I would pick the brown because my skin tone's close to that, and then I'll look like I'm wearing that. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Never mind.
I'm not wearing anything with buttons or zippers these days, so they're not for me.
Yeah, I mean, no one can see what you're wearing on your bottom these days. So maybe we should all wear them next week, but nobody would know.
But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure to tune into adage.com/creativity for more of the best in creative brand ideas. And we will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Put your masks on. Thanks.
Thanks.